call to order the BZA. If you please stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Make a quick statement of our procedure this evening. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The sequence will be as follows. First, we'll hear the appeal. Other business of the board will follow after the appeals. And you're more than welcome to stay for the entire meeting, or you can just stay from the portion that it affects you. All who speak or testify before the board will be sworn in. This will be done either as a group or individually. Anyone addressing the board is requested to use the speaker stand. Each person is then asked to give their name and address for the record. Our meetings are recorded, so anyone speaking may be cross-examined by attorney. All documents, photographs, or evidences presented for each case may be accepted by the board. The chairman will rule whether additional items being offered will be accepted or rejected. The person presenting each case may also withdraw the document. The zoning administrator or staff member will present a brief summary or statement for each appeal. Once the staff presentation is complete, the appellant will have the opportunity to speak. Then we will ask anyone on the floor to either speak for or against the appeal. At that point, we will ask for that public portion to be closed. We will then go back and we will ask questions anyone that has spoken before the board, whether it be the applicant or someone from the audience that spoke against or for the case. Once the board has posed their questions, we will then make a motion either to approve or deny the appeal. And then once the approval or deny has been submitted, then it will go to staff to make the next steps. If it's been approved, they'll then issue the certifications. So then we have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bartol.
Here.
Ms. Owens.
Present.
Mr. Shupp.
Present.
Mr. Saito. Nope, not here. I thought he was going to be here. And Mr. Roberto.
Present. I notice Mr. Saito is vacant, so we will call our alternate. Do we have his name plaque up there already?
Yeah. Nope.
Can we get that address, please? Should be over here under where I'm at here. I'll see if I can find it. See it in there? There you go. Thank you very much. Next thing on our agenda, so we will do the swearing in for those that are going to be speaking this morning or this evening. If you have not signed in, if you plan on speaking, please make sure that you are signed in for tonight. We have, looks like 3 to speak for Menominee and 3 to speak for Yateman. Anyone else beyond that?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Is item 2 on the docket been withdrawn?
Item 2, we are going to
Participation in?
Item 2, we are going to table it. Is what I'm going to recommend because they've asked for us for the next month.
So there's no discussion then?
There will be no action this evening, and then next month we'll present the case. Then the applicant will have an opportunity to speak, and then those that are here for or against, they'll have the opportunity to speak for or against it.
I did get a chance to sign in.
Okay. And you're for which case? Menominee. Okay. Come on up here and sign in if you don't mind. Name and address. I have the sheets up here currently.
We've already brought him in. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I have the sheets up here currently, sir. So if you want to sign in, please come on up here and, yes, sir.
Which case are you? For Yateman Road or the?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has the pen currently,
Or you can,
unless you have one.
got it.
There you go. Man came prepared. Thank you, sir. So those of you that are in the audience for the Simlo is the avenue.
Thanks.
We're going to ask to table that this evening, so if you don't want to stick around for that, that's our intent. We are not going to discuss anything about the case this evening. So I apologize if you came out here and you feel you've wasted.
If you have any questions concerning the letter that's withdrawing it, is that something we can ask staff on?
Once we're done, you can certainly speak with the staff, yes.
Or see it, is it posted, the withdrawal letter?
We got that yesterday, and so,
I can read the withdrawal letter to you for just a point of clarity. They have asked to remove please remove the agenda from our pending appeal for the variance board scheduled for October 25th. No details were provided. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about, do you have any control over the maintenance of the streets and
No, ma'am. All right, so that being said, if you're here for that particular case and you wish to leave, feel free to leave. Otherwise, you can listen to the rest of the cases and you can see what our process is. So, first case, we need to do swearing in. So if you plan on speaking before the board this evening, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth before the Board of Zoning Appeals? Say, I do. I do. Okay, thank you very much. I saw more people stand than I have signed in, so I just. All right, we'll ask you when you come forward if you signed in. So the first case would be BZA 2023-13. This is a variance for 10036 Menominee Road. Does the staff have a presentation?
yes, sir, we do.
Thank you.
All right, so this is 2313. Case summary, applicant is Chanthi Chen, is representing the property owner, Cambodian Buddhist Community of Cincinnati. Applicant is requesting a variance to section 7410B and 1452C4 of the zoning resolution to allow for the addition of security lights within the required property buffer. Case details, the buffer zone the church itself is in a residential zone, but the zoning resolution requires that it be treated as if a B2 zone. And so when a B2 abuts to a residential zone, there shall be a 40-foot buffer with no accessory structures within the buffer. And these security lights that they are requesting is in that buffer zone. So the proposed security lights are as close as 6 feet to the adjacent residential property line. Applicant claims a hardship here, and Mr. Chen claims that it has become hard to use the property as a religious place of worship due to his parishioners feeling unsafe in a dark parking lot at certain times of the year when they have to travel from the parking lot to their place of worship. So that's the table shows you the required buffer yard in your packet. Buffer design standards here. States no construction shall be permitted within a required buffer other than wall, fence, berm, driveway. So that's the 1452C4. And so the construction here was the installation of the lights, and that's why we're here for the variance. This is site plan that was provided by the applicant along the drive, noting that all of the security lights are going to be 30 feet apart. And each of those lights, if you'll notice, light 1 is 25 feet from residential dwelling, number 2, 29, 3, 24 feet, 4 is 16 feet, and then light 5 is 6 feet away. Show you another rendering here, just another view, an aerial with those lights with the circles and showing where the driveway is. We created that just to kind of give a different perspective. These are the light specs with just simple steel pole and foundation. They are solar powered, and they will be placed along the side to provide lighting. So the staff findings in relation to the Duncan factors, highlighting the most important ones here. Number 2, it's staff's opinion that the request itself is not substantial in nature. Number 3, it is staff's opinion that the essential character of the neighborhood would not be substantially altered or that adjoining properties would not suffer substantial detriment as a result of granting the requested variance. And then the seventh Duncan factor, staff's opinion that the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed and substantial justice done by granting, with proper conditions of approval if needed, the requested variance. So it was staff recommendation that we'd have approval of the variance request.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for staff?
Just one.
Good.
Your site plan, you said the lights were so many feet away from, did it say dwelling unit, or was it the property line?
Property line.
So, because the buffer, the 40-foot buffer is to the property line, correct?
It is,
Yes.
that is correct.
Yeah, right there, go back one. I just saw it says residential dwelling, so obviously the light
It
The
does
light
say-
pole's not 6 feet away from somebody's house.
Yeah, well, you're right, sorry.
Just in case anybody in the audience caught that too.
I heard the same thing, but I was going to ask for clarification.
Okay, that's all.
Perfect. Is the applicant present? You want to come give a presentation? Need to come to the podium and name and address for the record, please.
My name is Daryl Am. I'm on 2046. I'm part of the committee for the Cambodian community. I really don't have a presentation at this point. It's really, like it says, more security. Where the light we're putting on, there's a hill, and it's very dark, and obviously having people walk can be slippery as well. So just to add to that.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, sorry, one more note, that the light is not facing the tenant, the adjacent tenant is facing inside our space.
Okay,
Just want that.
thank you. I didn't see it on there. Did they have a light scale showing what there was going to be bleed or anything over any properties?
No, they only provided the specs on that are directly tied to the lights.
For foot candles, you mean?
Like a photometric scale?
Right.
Yeah.
We can provide that. There is part of the
Go to the podium if you can speak. Thank you.
And we can provide that as part of the spec that has the foot candle requirement, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the applicant has spoke. Does anyone want to speak for this application? Anyone speaking against this application? I see no more parties wanting to speak. Can we close the public portion?
I'll make the motion to close.
Thank you. A motion has been made. Second has been made. Discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Bartle,
Yes.
Ms. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Shupp,
Yes.
Mr. DeMoss,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberto.
Yes. Mr. DeMoss, would you have any questions for the applicant?
No, sir.
Mr. Shupp?
Just, have you had any problems? Just curious.
There have been
Please come back to the podium. Remember, this is recorded. It's all right. Thank you.
I guess late at night, there have been a couple where we had coolers that was stolen from that area. That was really it, but nothing major.
Okay, and just stay there.
Okay.
Any other questions?
That's all I had.
Ms. Owens?
And I understand that the lights are solar powered, but do you have a general idea of how long they'll stay lit? Like if you guys leave the premises at 7, or the lights still on at midnight?
It's on a dimmer, so when it's dark, then it's lit. So it's kind of the self-dimmer standpoint.
So in this instance, it might be lit, that driveway would be lit. Like if you guys leave at 7 and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and it's still dark, it might still be lit.
It is still be lit, correct. Again, these are placed out enough where it's not it's not an overbearing light, it's just more of a, so you can see, not in that sense.
Thank you.
If I might supplement that, on the specs that are in the packet, it does say dusk to dawn solar LED, and so it sounds like it's going to be on when it's dark.
Yeah, that's it.
And that is allowed, I guess, per zoning.
Correct.
I mean, there's nobody speaking against, but I was just wondering if there was
Well,
like
yeah.
a way to do maybe timers.
I guess, are you looking at timer for a certain time, or is it? because
Yeah, I was just thinking although I can't speak for your neighbors, they're obviously not here, so everybody must be okay with it. But if you guys are, pretty much off the property by 9 o'clock, why couldn't the lights turn off instead of staying on in case it was bothering someone? But nobody's opposed to it, so I'll bring it up.
Okay.
I guess for security reasons, I guess.
You want to
Yeah.
keep it up? Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
Mr. Barber, you have a
And
question?
so they are only 10 feet tall.
Roughly, yes.
Yeah, which is, that was surprising to see. I was expecting
Taller, yeah.
20 foot tall or something. No questions.
Okay, perfect.
And I don't have any questions. The only thing I would like to have seen was the photometrics, just to see if there's gonna be spillovers to the neighbor's property.
Is there, I think the spec sheet might have something on the last page in
I
terms
was
of.
just looking at
photometric.
that and
No?
I didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't see it in our packet.
Okay, yeah. I can tell you, based on what we saw, it only lands on that, pretty much the
So
roadway.
they're directional and they're
Yeah,
forward directional.
Exactly. So it's even on the back side, you won't even get it on the fence side, so.
All right, I have no further questions. Would someone like to make a motion?
So you can sit down.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve it
As the staff's
as a staff
recommended?
recommendation.
Okay. We have a motion to approve it with the staff, as staff recommended. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been made. Discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Bartolt,
Yes.
Ms. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Shump,
Yes.
Mr. DeMoss,
Yes.
Mr. Roberto.
Yes. Your appeal has been granted. We will move on to case number 2 in our case. Let me get my pile here. Messed me up because you guys are backside printing. There we go. This case number 2 is BZA 2023-14. This will be a variance for the property located at 3636 Semelo Avenue. And we have received a request from the applicant to table this until next month. So do we have a motion to table?
I'll make the motion to table the case till next month.
Okay, the motion's been made.
Second.
And a second's been made. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
I do have the letter up there for
Perfect.
audience sight.
Okay, thank you.
All right, roll call vote. Mr. Bartolt,
Yes.
Ms. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Shump,
Yes.
Mr. DeMoss,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberto.
Yes. Case number BZA 2023-15. This is variance for a property located at 5191 Yateman Road. Does the staff have a presentation?
Yes, sir, we do.
Thank you.
All right, so. Case summary. Applicants are Edward and Beth Day, who are the owners of property at 5191 Yateman Road. They're seeking a variance to table 7.2 that will allow for a new lot that does not meet site development standards of a minimum of 1 acre required by the zoning resolution. Property owners live on a parcel across the street to the lot in question. They seek to split the lot into 2 new lots, one for an existing house, which is Lot A, and one that will be combined into their property. This new, on the split will be Lot B. Neither will meet the minimum 1 acre size. Staff recommended that Lot A be given the required 1 acre, Lot B be consolidated and absorbed into their adjoining parcel, thus avoiding the creation of a future hardship for Lot A. Mr. and Ms. Day did not agree to this plan and requested to bring the case before BZA. In the initial plan presented to staff, Lot A was 135 feet in width. Staff informed the applicant that this did not meet the site development standards for R2, which was a 150-foot width. Applicant changed the lot plans, now proposing 165 feet lot width for Lot A. While this is positive, it made Lot B become slightly less than 1 acre. For this reason, if approved, a condition that Lot B be absorbed into Day residence should be considered. This is the residential site development standards for R2s, minimum lot area and width. So here is the proposed site plan, taking the full parcel is approximately 1.59, I believe was the number. And the split would create 0.67, 0.92. There is a existing home on the highlighted yellow. So there was communication with with Hamilton County over the ability to provide some kind of sanitary sewer. And they did soil testing, which was in your packet. This slide here that came from the county shows that the acceptable soil is on the highlighted area. The soil on the right side, which again would be that 0.92 acres, did not meet the acceptable, and it appears that that is where they have drawn their split, even though it's creating the lot sizes that are under the residential development sizes. The Days also own some adjacent properties. See that there on that. That is just a overview again of that proposed lot. That's the lot with the remaining, that one house at 5191. Staff findings here. Disappeared, great. I guess it just likes to turn off here.
You never accuse yourself.
Tom's not here.
Guess you're used to this, Mr. Roberto? All right.
Yeah, I've watched enough online stuff to see this happens pretty often. I make a motion that we have the projector repaired.
Thank you very much.
Do we have a second on that?
Tried. I
I'll
second
second that.
All right, perfect.
All right, staff findings, I'll just read those as compared to our Duncan factors. One, it's a staff opinion. The property in question will yield a reasonable return without the requested variance. Number 6, Duncan factored staff's opinion, the property owner's predicament feasibly could be obviated through some method other than a variance. And then finally, it's staff's opinion that the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would not be observed and substantial justice done by granting, with proper conditions of approval, the requested variance. And so, given that, the staff recommendation was denial of the variance request. If approved, the recommended condition was that Lot B must be combined with the primary day properties, which is the parcel number there, within 90 days.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for staff?
Yes. Can you explain what you just said about why the necessity to combine Lot B into the adjacent parcel?
So Lot B would be left at .92. If you approve this requested split at .67 and then .92, you would have 2 that were under the 1 acre. The Days also own the adjacent parcel. That's I thought it was about 2 acres and some change. And so if you consolidate it with that, then you end up with only the one that's at .67 that has the residence on it.
So is this the most current site plan I should be looking at?
Yes,
And you're saying the yellow is how much?
that's .67.
0.67. And then Lot B is how much?
That would be .92.
Okay. Because on the
Yeah, we had
cover, I don't have that information.
Okay.
and we also had a previous site plan that showed a different scale, so. Okay. Any other questions for staff?
So, no, that should be it.
Okay. All right. Anyone here to speak for the appeal? Okay.
Yep.
Actually, you're the applicant, right?
Yes.
Okay. You want to give your presentation?
I'm Beth Day, 5154 Yateman Road, 45252.
Thank you.
I'm Ed Day, 5154 Yateman Road.
Thanks, sir.
All right, we put our house up for sale with the condition being that we wanted to split the lot and sell the house with a half an acre.
The house and property as exists now is 1.6425 acres. To have the property surveyed and split as we want it was going to cost over $6,000. We decided to put it up for sale before we got it surveyed and recorded under those conditions. In case it didn't sell, we didn't want to waste our money. When we put it up for sale, it sold in less than a week. At that point, we called the surveyor, assuming it would be an easy process. The surveyor took about 3 weeks to put it on paper and mark the lot. After we got the paperwork from the surveyor, we took it to Hamilton County to have it recorded. At that time, we learned we had to have the approval of Hamilton County Health Department because it was a septic system and also Colerain Township. After that news, we decided to let the buyers move in until these two issues were taken care of. We first took it to the Health Department. They required a soil engineer's report done. We hired Clear Creek Environmental and Engineers. They are the list given to us by the Health Department to do the soil testing and lay out a future septic replacement area, which is a requirement. After showing the results to the Health Department, they said they would approve it if we extended the front property line to 165 feet and the rear property line to 195 feet. These extensions would then incorporate the septic replacement area. They also required us to have the new empty lot consolidated to be part of 510-160-14 we already own. While this is going on, the buyers are having to extend their loan and buy down the interest rate. Their loan application was in June. It was for a set percent and good at that rate for 90 days. Since then, they have had to pay for a buy down of $1,200 in September and another $1,200 in October to keep the original rate. At that same time, we filled out an application to Colerain Township. We found out within a week that it was turned down. It was turned down for two reasons. One being the front lot line had to be a minimum of 150 feet. As of now, we have resolved that, and it is 165 feet. The second was the acreage has to be a minimum of 1 acre lot with a septic. I think we solved this also. The soil testing report shows there is no usable land beyond the outline of the lot split containing the house. The soil engineers laid out 50-year septic replacement area, and we have moved the line accordingly. Between the effects it will have on all involved, not only financially, but emotionally, if denied, we ask that you consider and pass a request to split the lot. This will also have no effect on the neighbors, traffic, or area in general. And we thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. You have something to say, sir?
I mean, the Board of Health lined out where they need the septic system, and I mean, that's fine there, but I just was wondering why, why it would be turned down if you can put another septic system in there. And then also, like the easement, there's an easement too. Could that be a part of the road frontage, the part of the easement? Or it has to be the lot itself?
If you're looking for questions, I don't know that we're going to be able to provide you those answers. We can tell you what the zoning says, that it needs to be 1 acre lot. It's falling shy of that, so that's why you're here.
Yeah. So why does it has to be a 1 acre lot?
Because of where you're zoned at. Your zoning classification requires you to be a 1 acre lot.
But I mean, there's other lots across the street that are less than an acre, and they got a mound system and everything else.
I don't know how that came into existence. All I know is what you're here before the Board of Zoning and doing an appeal because you don't fit the requirements that are needed for that space.
So what are we doing now?
Well, we're gonna listen to some of your neighbors.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll come back and ask you some questions.
We also have the people here that are living in the house, and they're fine with.
Well, we'll listen to them if they've signed up to speak. We'll actually listen to them as well.
All right.
So stick around. We'll be asking you some questions. Anyone else speaking for this appeal? You want to come forward and give us your name and address for the record, please?
Good evening, folks.
Good evening.
My name is Gregory Howard. I live at 5213 Yateman, which either does or is awful close to abutting a portion of this property. And I also own 5215, so I own two properties in the area. In general, to go down and look at this area, it's very isolated. We're not talking about busy, busy, busy. We're talking about nobody goes down there but the days, and hasn't for 20, 30 years, if not all the way back to 1950. My memory tells me that Eddie's father used to own property there in the area, maybe some of the property he still owns, back in 1950, because there was some issue when he was in war, the Korean War. Something came up relative to the property. So I know his daddy was there, like I said, in 1950. It's a very isolated area. The road there is unimproved from the Route 27 fence all the way up 1,000 feet. I mean, way up. That Colerain Township does not maintain. Eddie maintains that. So he keeps that in good shape for us, and I appreciate that. I, as an individual, have no problem with him getting whatever he wants. Thank you. Any questions?
We'll be posing questions later. Thank you, sir. Anyone else speaking in favor? Did you sign up the sheet, ma'am? No. Yes, please come up and sign up. Name and address for the record, please. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you very much. Now you can state your name and address for the record.
Okay, perfect. My name is Ashley Rice. I'm currently the one who is has moved into the property at 5191 Yeatman, and just we're okay with what the days have brought to the table.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else speaking for? Anyone speaking against? I see no more motion. Can I have a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion been made. Second?
Second?
Second been made. Discussion? I see none. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bartolt,
Yes.
Ms. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Shup,
Yes.
Mr. DeMoss,
Yes.
Mr. Roberto.
Yes. So we'll do the same order. Mr. Owens, do you have any question, or not Mr. Owens, Mr. Miller? No. DeMoss. Mr. DeMoss, do you have any questions for the applicant?
No, I don't.
Or the, Mr. Shup?
Yes, I do.
It's for the applicant?
Yeah, I'm sorry, for the applicant.
Okay. You want to come to the podium?
I'm curious, the purpose here is you want to maintain an extra lot. Is that correct? Okay. Did you happen to have Clearwater look at that second lot and investigate the possibility for a septic system there?
Yes,
It's not able to.
no, you can't put
It's
it,
just wilderness.
yeah.
Okay, so it's technically, your understanding is undevelopable.
The health department approved it.
They
For us
approved
to-
where the house is,
Yeah, where the house is,
but the rest of it they disapproved.
yes.
Or what we're wanting to keep has been disapproved for any septic
Septic
system.
system.
Okay.
So regardless whether we have that small portion or that big portion, you can't put a septic system on it, only where the house is.
Reason why I want to keep it is I got a spot that's leveled out with a garden and a swing set. And it's in front of my house, basically, and it just seemed like it would just be out of place if, someone else owned it or something,
And like Greg said, he maintains the road every year, him and his brother. I mean, nobody comes down there from Colerain Township. Years ago, they used to leave salt for us.
Barrel of salt.
Years ago, that was years ago, and
That was Diefenbach.
we don't even get any help from that. So, I mean, it's like all that property below on Yateman Road is maintained by him. And the neighbors sends us thank you cards and everything in the wintertime since he does that. It seems like it'd be weird to split the property and, after all those years of us owning it, and then someone, and like they said, they you know, they don't mind, you know, buying the house with what the house is on.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I don't think so.
Ms. Owens?
No questions.
Mr. Bartle?
Just, unless I missed it, what was the reasoning this could not be an acre, the Lot A?
Why it can't be an acre? Because this property comes down in front of my house, and it's just like across the street, basically, and it's
Across the driveway.
across the driveway, well, the driveway you guys don't maintain, but it's just, I mean, you look out the door, window, and there's the bottom part of the lot.
Do we have an overhead shot of this property as part of your presentation?
We did.
If not, can you pull it up on Google Maps for us so we can see what they're referencing? Because this drawing doesn't help us.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Oh, that's my youngest grandbaby.
Congratulations.
Right, and I think that's the direction they're wanting to go. Yeah, I was in I'm the same boat. And that's why I want to see it overhead so I can understand it better. We're gonna see David's typing skills here.
Yeah. It is not showing on my screen. That's the weird part.
I can bring up on my phone for you.
Yeah, okay, you know what?
Day Road was named after his grandfather, too.
It's been a while back.
While we're waiting, so it is true per this site plan that you own the property to the right of the Lot B, correct?
Yeah, we own that lot right, all the way at the end of that lot, then plus that, when they put the highway in, that's what's left
Yeah.
of it, and this part
Yeah.
right here. So we own that house and that lot, and this is right across.
But where you live is,
It's right here. I live right there, and
okay,
this is, Rovers used to own this, but they put the highway in, so I bought this acres. Well, not.
Well, this says you own-
Over here, yeah.
yeah, okay. We're just trying to figure out where your actual
Residence
residence
is.
was.
I just can't, hold on. Gamble, dude.
Justin, do some song and dance while we're waiting, why don't you? No?
Don't have to be too good at that.
Oh, you got the shoes on for it today, so. I really want it up here so that then it becomes part of the record. Thank you. So the dot is where the property in question, correct?
That is correct. That's 5191.
And then so to extend it, if you were to make it an acre, I guess is where we're going with this question, where would that line be on the property and how would that affect you adversely? Because we're trying to accomplish,
Can you go up there and point to different buildings?
because it looks to me like maybe your driveway is at the circle there?
This is the house, and that
That's our house we live
that
in.
one, wherever the acres comes down to here, it comes right over in here. And, we wanna keep this spot to like right here or something. This, well, it's not showing it there, but this is a little flat spot, the only flat spot down there. Where there's a garden and whatever.
So is that a building right up against the road? Start pointing and I'll tell you.
That's right along in the easement. There's
Right.
a
No,
down at the property in question.
Here?
Keep
No.
going forward, north,
Right,
right
keep,
to your left.
Here?
Right there.
Oh, it's a little, it's got firewood in it.
That's a lane.
Like a lean-to? Okay.
But that would be on Lot B.
That,
Yeah.
that's part of what I wanna keep.
Yeah.
Basically, it's not him, but.
We don't keep them, we have enough of
We got, how many of them?
11.
And there's a swing set right there where they play on swing set.
It's just
Must be an
it's,
old
I mean, the site plan we have just makes it look different. I mean, seeing that image up there makes things more reasonable to me, because I was trying to envision what this large Lot B was actually.
Lot I mean, it'll say, comes out here, it goes about this far behind the house, and then it just comes down this way.
Yeah.
Over to here where it meets my other property. I think they were saying like a half acre was like right here, septic system's right there, and then the Board of Health came out and put some blue lines, blue stuff around here, so we have to move it right here somewhere.
Can you turn on the property lines on there?
I'm having a lot of trouble. I don't know, even I can't, I'm not even seeing on my computer what you're seeing, so
Okay.
let me,
Uh,
let's try this again. I don't know why this is being so difficult today.
Because the point's been raised that there are half-acre lots are already present in the community.
I wonder, is that all these?
Yes. But it
They're
depends on how
older.
long deep they are.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
probably
Well,
not
sure.
73.
Because it's actually a subdivision on the other side of the street. So it's, to me, it's something's been done in order to allow that half acre. A lot of the times, this is us trying to sleuth backwards and figure out how things got to where they got. And our job up here is to determine the hardship. And, you know, I'm struggling with the hardship that you're presenting, because why couldn't you add more property line to that and come more in line with the requirement is really my question.
Well, we just been down there so
Been down there
many years.
for 37 years,
That's just
and,
part of that.
and we've owned that
Yeah.
property for 23, I think it has been. So it's just, has been like, for our kids, our grandkids, you know, they play in that area all the time that we're,
Oh, I get that, but you went in knowingly selling part of this property.
no.
We were told by the realtors that we could split off anything we
Yes,
want.
yes,
So-
Well,
exactly.
you can, as long as you follow within the code of so you could split it off and you could have made it an acre lot and then consolidated your other piece and you would have been
When we
fine.
were told in the beginning, we could do what we were asking.
Okay, well, but
Exactly.
unfortunately, now we're caught in trying to put toothpaste back in a tube. And I don't know how we can do that, because it's, unless we just grant this variance.
That lot next door right there, am I allowed to build a house on that? It's less.
That's
less than
way
an acre.
less than an acre.
And then two of them up,
Yeah, they all
it's
look.
less than an acre, and they got a mound system, a brand new house.
If you fall within the guidelines as far as off of the property line, yeah, you could build a residence on there. There's still guidelines within.
I mean, it's just, there's room for a septic system at this place.
But if we wanted to sell that lot, then how would we be able to sell it if it's not an acre? And when did this come
That's
into
why,
place?
that's why they're asking you to consolidate, so that you would then
When-
create an acre.
When did this ordinance, well, I don't even know what you call it, come into play, this acre thing?
2006 was, August 19th, 2006, what we have here. And it looks like it's the earliest.
I don't know, I mean.
I mean, we're
that's no big
explaining it.
deal to people don't care really what side of
We're all the way at the end, we butt up, as you can see, with 27, no one else can even move down there. Where we're asking to keep the property, and then the people that have moved in the house, you know, they don't care. It just doesn't add up.
But it's more than just you. So what it does is it sets a precedence for the rest of the community. And so that's what, kind of where we have to be guarded, because if we grant it for you, then we'd have to grant it for anyone else that came before the board that has a similar situation. And so then eventually, then this zoning that we have there which is, what zoning is this? What R district are we in?
R2?
R2 really becomes a different R. And so that's why we're a little bit guarded about just willy-nilly changing.
So if someone owns a house and it's on less than an acre and they want to sell it, they cannot sell it because it's on less?
No, they can't, it's already an existing structure that they can't go make any modifications. They can't, you know, unfortunately, I can't, again, that's another, you're giving me a scenario that I don't have control over. This we have a control over because you're trying to create a lot split.
This is just like within Colerain Township because Hamilton County has already approved it.
Hamilton County did not approve it because they sent you back to Colerain Township. Your sewer guys did, but that's irrelevant to zoning because zoning still takes precedence. Zoning's in real estate, that's key. And unfortunately, you're stuck because of the district you're in requires you to be an acre. So we're trying to figure out how we can best solve this problem and try to follow along the guidelines. And, you know,
And it looks like all we have to do is move the property line for 0.3 acres, and it becomes an acre.
exactly, and that's,
I don't know how far that is. We only have to move the property line enough to
0.3.
get 0.3 acres.
a third of an acre.
For Lot A, 0.3, you're only off by 0.3 acres.
So if the line moved a third of an acre over, then you consolidated your piece with the rest of the parcel, the problem's solved. Because then you're now meeting the requirements of the acreage that you need there, because you've now consolidated the piece that's over here with the little piece that you left here, and then the property that you've just sold would be the acre that it needs to be in order to fit within the zoning requirements. That's kind of where our head is.
So they would need a third acre.
Additional third on what they've already purchased.
For Lot A.
For Lot A.
So basically, how much,
Then that would equal an acre.
is that what's going, equal an acre?
Yes.
Yeah. And that still gives you
Oh, that don't give me,
0.6 acres.
that just won't be all right.
Because he already has like the lean-to on the,
Well, that's why it'd be nice to know where the property line is for those items to see, do they stay on Lot B or do they encroach on Lot A? But it's hard to tell based on that one image.
Sorry.
Don't,
I don't understand.
well, some of the paperwork don't have it split out or something?
No, they don't show the
We've got a
bill.
couple, and we've got
don't
these
show the
two that we're referencing. This is the latest one that was proposed by changing angles, but it's still, if you need to add a third in order to meet the requirements. And we're trying to figure out where that third would fall in your property line so that then we can understand what the hardship is on it.
And I guess the property line doesn't have to move east-west. You could take some from the south and create a really strange parcel,
It'd be a flag parcel.
but you're allowed to take it from any direction. Like if you don't use the far south piece of that Lot B, you can always give Lot A a 10-foot strip or whatever.
Too deep, it's like 160 feet deep or something.
Well, the frontage needs to be 165 feet, so you met that part.
I mean, the width of it, it's not really too many feet, is it? I don't know what.
I mean, you could go off the property line, I mean, we're guessing here, what's 269 feet by 10 would equal out to in acreage?
Oh,
Okay.
he's doing it.
Thank you. You see what we're trying to do? We're trying to,
There's your whole parcel there.
and I'm gonna go to the picture so I can better explain to you. So what you currently have is something along the lines of this is what you're proposing, right? Somewhere in. And what we're saying, either one, we move it here to make it the full acre, or you come here and you go like that to give you an acre. And you're really making it a stupid looking piece of parcel, but it then meets the guidelines that we need in order to get you approved. So if we can get creative, we can solve the problem, and then you guys benefit, they benefit, and we can grant. I mean, it'd be nothing to grant at that point. It would be solved. You would solve your own problem.
You don't have to request the variance at that point.
Right. So if you can fix the split, I know this is more of a survey again, fix the split so that you keep the lion's share of the business, and the best piece of the parcel, and you give them the parcel that's woods, the hillside, not usable, and now it becomes their property. They can't use it for anything, but it's still an acre lot.
So it has to be an acre.
Correct. And we've closed the public portion, so, I mean, unfortunately, I can't pull you up here. I apologize.
If I may.
Yes, sir, Mr. Shup?
If off the back parcel, just my rough math, okay? If you were to take about 52 and a half feet strip going all the way south, that would get you're short 14,372 feet, plus or minus a few feet.
How wide would that have to be?
53 feet.
53 feet long, but how wide?
No, I mean, it's 269, so if they took 53 feet and made it a flag, 53 by 269.
How wide is the flag? Is what I'm trying to. So
50
you're giving me this direction.
Right.
Or is it this way?
Well, it'd be 53 feet.
Oh, 53 feet in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 53 feet in by that. That would
Excuse
give
me,
them.
Is it like, you talking about coming down this way, like 53 feet here?
Yep.
on this end?
Correct.
Yep.
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
53 feet all the way down to the end of the property line?
Yes.
That, probably not too much left over, is it?
Well, it still preserves your flat area.
It's 154 feet wide now, so it'd be down, yeah.
So it'd be still 100 feet.
I have to look it over, I guess.
So with that being said, would you like to maybe table this so that you can better review, and then you can maybe, one, solve it yourself, or you come back before the board with a different suggestion?
I mean, there's no way you guys,
I can tell you right now, it's probably gonna fail if we go vote on it tonight. So I'm speaking for the board, but I can sense it.
Well, I was gonna say, if it were to fail, they still have the option to reapply and present another case,
They
don't
could, but it's gonna cost them more money. I'm just trying to,
they? Well, application fee, yeah.
I'm trying to avoid that. So you get one of two options. One, we go forward right now, we make a vote, and whatever we decide is what you have to move forward with, and you'll then have to figure out another solution to the problem, and which would be option two, which was look at your parcel, see if there's a way that you can cut it better so that we're getting a acre there. Then you need to consolidate what's left over into your other acreage. That solves that problem too, and now you've met the guidelines of zoning.
well, can we see how you guys want to do it? How you guys vote? Are we allowed to do that? Then,
Well, if we vote on it, you would have to then
Well, no, I'm
reapply.
saying, if we turn it down, and you go back and solve it, you don't have to come back because you've solved it.
Right.
There will be no additional application fee.
either way, if we don't have it here now, then either I don't sell the place or figure out some other way of doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want us to continue?
Might as well.
All right. So any other questions for the applicant? Any questions for the staff? And you can go and sit down at this point, thank you. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to deny the request as presented.
A motion's been made, and second?
I'll second it.
A second's been made, discussion? See none, roll call vote?
Mr. Bartle,
Yes.
Ms. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Shup,
Yes.
Mr. DeMoss,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberto.
Yes. So your appeal in this particular case has been denied, so now if you're going to reapply for a different appeal, you'll have to go through the whole process again. My recommendation, and I'm not a lawyer, but my recommendation is to go see if you can't figure out a way to change the plot to accommodate the zoning, and then it'll be solved. All right, so unfinished business, I see none. Approval of minutes, I didn't see any minutes in our packet.
Those were emailed to you prior to the meeting.
Okay, I don't recall
Since they
receiving
are
them. Anybody else recall receiving the minutes?
Yeah, I got it. Not physically.
Did you?
Are we finished here?
Yes, ma'am, you are, thank you.
You had to look at the very bottom.
Okay, so I apologize, I didn't see the minutes, so if anyone would like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Well, you mean as all of, weren't there quite a
looks
few.
1, 2, 3,
Do we
4,
have to do 'em
5,
individually, or-
six sets, or you can do them individually, however you
I don't
feel
know, does it
comfortable.
matter?
No, I don't think it matters. We can, unless we saw something on one that needs to be.
Was there
changed.
anything objective in any of the minutes that were read? Again, I didn't get the chance to read it.
Anything you didn't like?
I didn't see it. They matched my recollection.
Okay.
But
I'll-
Can we have
are
a
ready?
motion to approve then?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, motion's been made, and a second?
I'll second it.
Second's been made, discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Bartle?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Shup?
Yes.
Mr. DeMoss?
yes,
And Mr. Roberto?
Yes. Next meeting will be November 29th. Please make a note in your calendar. This is the 5th Wednesday instead of the 4th, and that's due to Thanksgiving week. Administrative matters, we've got the Colerain Township KZF and Zone Company Comprehensive Zone Amendment Update. Does the staff have something to speak of that?
I do. This is update on the slide here. So Article 2, zones, districts, and overlays. Article 3 on land use standards. Article 4, development design standards. And Article 5, nonconformities have been completed by KZF, and so they have been provided now to staff. And we are going through those together and ensuring that what they are offering and recommending is what the administration is in agreement with. So they're still adding material to Article 7, which is glossary. And then they're on track to have a full resolution drafted, sent by December 13th, which would be the remaining sections of Article 6, administration, and Article 1, general provisions.
So are we anticipating then a new packet or new zoning by the first of the year?
I'm going to say no, because I think that we're probably going to need time, into the next year to just make sure it's all completed. We still have at least one public meeting where we bring these updated drafts to the public and get comment from that as well.
And the trustees are the one that voted into resolution, correct?
That is my understanding.
Yep.
That is correct.
Okay, perfect. Anything else?
Nothing on that administrative matter.
Okay,
Next meeting, November 29th.
yep.
And then
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Motion's been made. Do we have a second?
A second.
Second's been made. Discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Bartle?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Shup?
Yes.
Mr. DeMoss?
yes.
And Mr. Roberto?
Yes. Meeting is adjourned.